What's up, everyone? It's your boy ShowtimeDr coming at you. Got you your 3-star Cha-Cha's concert Natasha Advent Guide. This, by the way, is probably the easiest 3-star in the game. On your party info here, if you got Trisha, and I actually highly recommend you bring Trisha, not necessarily for this. We'll show you why later. And, you know, Liberto, Claudia. Honestly, you don't really need any of these people. Although, if you are new to the game and just getting into 3-star dungeons, don't worry, I am making considerations for you. You're probably not going to have Liberto, though, because Liberto is one of the harder 3-star advent dungeons in the game. Yeah, I'm going to have Claudia. Hey, confusion is actually kind of prevalent in this dungeon, but I will still show you what's going on here, so let's get to it. I'm going to build myself a little team here, so let's do... who should I bring? Obviously, I do want to bring Natasha. It's a matter of actually finding her. Look for the arrows, fam. There she is. Won't even take a friend unit, so this should be okay. This is a light dungeon for the most part. There are heroes that appear that are not light, I believe, unless for some reason the dungeon makes them all light. But we'll go ahead and get started right now, and I'll show you. We'll do it live! Your first battle, you might recognize her. I got the 4-star or maybe 5-star version of... Not Natasha, what's her face? Trisha. But then, oh, that was Natasha, my bad. This is Trisha. So you're gonna go ahead and fight her. The issue with her, she's one of the people that puts Fanatic on you. Fanatic is basically a debuff that she can put on your party members. She hasn't quite put it up yet, but she'll get to it here. But what happens is, there's different things that her skills do and some of her support units do, depending on if Fanatic is up or not. So right here, each additional Fanatic increases attack. Activate a powerful skill when a certain number of Fanatics are gathered. Has a chance to silence Fanatics when attacking. That is an 80% chance, by the way, according to her kit. It might be amped in this dungeon, not sure. High chance to confuse defense and support enemies. So if you're bringing a tank and a supports in here, I'm just bringing supports. Confuse can be kind of hard if you have to DPS this down slowly. So your light elementals, don't bring your light heroes in here, at least your DPS ones, because she just heals HP from it. Cannot be removed, cannot be dispelled, any of those. So we'll get started here. I'll gear this a little bit, but we'll slow down. Just to show you guys what's going on. Now, right there, what she did. Let's see if I could actually find it. Well, A, she amped her crit chance a little bit. It looks like none of the debuffs actually stuck. Sometimes that puts on Fanatic. The little amp thing. Decent counter rate there, as you can see. Yeah. Oh, my bad, I have Fanatic up. I'll show you what that does in a second, guys. It should carry over to this dungeon. So what happens is, when this gets on you, Deafening Noise, decreased critical strike, chance, and attack, has a chance to become a Fanatic when attacked by Natasha or Trisha. You're going to see Natasha or Trisha throughout this dungeon, unless... There is a caveat I will show you later. So we're fighting her again. So, you know, I'm using skill 1s. So she's summoning random people. This is always going to be a random encounter. Now, for whatever reason, most of the time the heroes are going to be light, but not in all cases. This could be Francis, this could be Aika, there's a couple different ones depending on what they do, but in general, it's not going to be a big deal no matter what you get for the second phase. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to show you all of them. In this case, I think that's Bonnie. Yeah, that's Bonnie. So Bonnie, hybrid. She kind of does a little bit of support, and then these guys are here to do the damage, so... What you want to do, depending on possibly what you have going on, so... So right here, what I'm actually going to do, I'm just going to go start clearing the scrubs. I do not believe they can summon more. Now there's a silence. You can see there. Put a silence on Trisha. Shortly before she got evaporated. Alright, so the reason that you bring Trisha to this dungeon. Normally, you see this here? Listen up, everyone. Normally, she summons Trisha on her side, and Trisha's standing on her side. She is immune to all damage, and Trisha can cast all her skills, including the silence skill. I'll show you Trisha's skills when we get back to her. Trish, what are you doing there? See that? So normally she would summon Trisha, but in this case, Trisha's on my side, so she summoned some random scrub enemy. I'll go ahead and get her back up in a second here. So you can see that debuff goes on everybody. Deafening noise. Basically has a chance to turn everyone into a fanatic. Doesn't look like she has yet, though. So let's get Trisha up. I'll show you what she does. So on her 1, damage, and she's a shock meta hero, so she has a chance to put shock on. On her 2, magic tuning for 2 turns. Magic tuning is basically has a chance to do I forget the exact additional effects, but pretty much there's stuns and shock. She's shock meta, so her passives are basically when she attacks someone that's shocked. It was either, I think it's like will always multi-strike or will always crit chance. Bottom line, she's going to do more damage if you're shocked, so if you're fighting her, maybe you don't have a Trisha, try to keep shock off your party as much as you can. You see there? So, this girl right here, Natasha, has an 80% chance to silence anything that might be a fanatical enemy. So in this case, your boy's been turned into a fanatic, so deafening noise. And you see how it goes, so. And then she doesn't even have an enrage, since we erased her there before she enraged. But if she gets enough fanatic people, if she turns enough people into fanatics, the dungeon gets drastically harder because not only is she doing additional damage and stuff to fanatics, but she's also silencing them, so you can only cast your skill 1. In some cases, there'll be charm effects that go off, so you just won't be able to do anything unless you got some type of cleanse, so. But that's pretty much your guide for this dungeon. It isn't a hard dungeon. I managed to do it even when I think I was about 2 weeks into the game. And just to get, just so I don't leave you guys hanging, I'm gonna go ahead and go and check out the skills so that we can actually see. Now keep in mind when I check the skills for what you have is not necessarily the skills that are gonna be in the dungeon, because usually the dungeon skills are enhanced. So you see here, additional damage when attacking a shark target, that's going to go up at 6 stars, probably 30%. 100% chance to multi-strike if the target caster with magic tuning uses a skill. So there you go. That's where the multi-strike one came in. Magic tuning is a debuff that she can put up with her 2. Or is it a buff? Oh, I guess it's a buff. Okay, so that's a buff. Not sure if you can get rid of it, but if you can, maybe try to dispel it. Once again, she's shock meta here, so not sure if this works, but if it does in the dungeon, she's going to shock 2 enemies right when she appears, and chance to obtain magic tuning upon successful crit strike. So that's what you're dealing with Trisha if you don't happen to have a Trisha of your own. Then let's go ahead. I have a couple of Natasha, so let me go find Trisha. Where is this hero? Alright, I guess she's light. I'll look for light. Trisha again. There she is. Alright, so Natasha on her 1. Chance to apply fanatic status to the target for 2 turns on a 1 target. Honor 2, 70% chance for Fanatic for up to 3 enemies for 2 turns. Increase caster's crit strike chance by 30. 3, penetration damage to all enemies. For passive, that's probably going to go to 30% attack for 2 turns. Each time an enemy becomes Fanatic, stacks up to 3 times. Restore 1% HP when receiving buffs. Probably goes to 3%. There's your 80% silence I was talking about earlier. So... and that's what you're dealing with in there. Not a hard dungeon. If you're newer to the game, you might have some issues with it otherwise. I'm actually, I don't really necessarily care about the skill set, but I'm actually looking forward to trying to build the band team just for the lulz. I think that would be kind of humorous, but that's neither here nor there, so... I am ShowtimeDr on Twitch. You can find me there. You got my YouTube. If you check in the title description, there's a link to my Discord. You can come in here. We got a Knights Chronicle tab. People asking questions, sharing experiences, you know, learning, passing on their expertise, whatever you got. If you just want to read it and have fun, if you want to meet some of the people, come check it out. It's fun. We have a good time in there. So we're trying to solve all the mysteries of the game since there's an information vacuum. Yada, yada, yada. So I'll catch you guys again. Hopefully this helps you out. Peace.